All right. I'm about to record a video, okay? I'm just doing a test run. All right, y'all. So I'm about to react to this Todd Boogie podcast video. It says Anton just made this mistake with Corey Holcomb. Instant regret. All right, so yeah, this is just a test run. I'm trying to see if it's gonna work. All right, let's get into it. I already started watching some of the video. I'm only 6 minutes and 15 seconds in. It's 38 minutes long. It's some 38 and some change minutes long. So let's get into it.
Primitive in their thinking, they're emotional. Black people are not that smart. He said that in his actual show, but I won't play that clip. But in so many words, black people cannot handle a confrontation well. Candace Owens has said this. So in other words, if you're a black conservative and you're dealing with a person that is primitive, unintelligent, rude, or uncivilized, or outdated in their thinking, well, you've already admitted that you wanted to grow your audience by going on the Corey Holcomb show, growing your platform. Now, if Corey Holcomb was primitive, unintelligent, rude, or uncivilized, you would have already known that by watching his previous shows. I mean, exactly. Corey Holcomb 5150 show was going on even before I was really on YouTube. Corey Holcomb has been the same way he's always been for years. So you should have already kind of insinuated or understood that your political framework and his framework would be different. Corey Holcomb does come after guests quite often that he disagrees with. He has a history doing that. He's not the nicest guy in the world. And if he knew that you were a guy that, said different things about black people, he was going to bring that up. And he might not have brought it up in the most respectful way. And I'll just be honest, Corey Holcomb can be, sometimes rude. Okay, we're going to be honest. So I'm going to call it down the middle. Corey Holcomb could be...
Okay, I'm trying to see where O'Shea is going with this. I'm really trying to see where he's going with this. It sounds like what he's saying is Anton should have known it was going to go this route.
Yeah.
Right? But I think...
Especially if you watch
here's
the
the
show.
thing. I'm not an Anton fan. But just because you and somebody have...
And disclaimer, I watch the 5150 show. I watch it like every week or whatever. Yeah, I never heard of the Anton guy. This was my first time ever hearing about him when he came on the 5150 show. Like, I got off of work and we went to it or whatever. And I was like, oh, he interviewing somebody? Oh, okay, let's see what this is about. And then, by the time I really got into it, they was arguing or whatever.
Differences does not mean you can't sit down and have a conversation with somebody. Now, when somebody can't handle a capacity of having a difference with somebody, then yeah, it can become very childish. It can become very ignorant. But it is okay when two mature people have a conversation about a topic and they completely disagree. It doesn't have to become name calling. Exactly. It doesn't have to become... So here's the thing. When you are talking about an idea and me and you have two different opinions on the idea, you make comments on the idea. You disagree. You could disrespect the idea. But that does not mean you have to disrespect the person. Which is why a lot of times in my videos, I see a lot of comments. I see you guys comment saying, I like the way you said that without disrespecting the person. Because here's the thing. I don't have to agree with everything that people say. Sometimes it's just the thing you did was dumb. The idea you have is just not for me. You know what I mean? Like, or not the thing you did was dumb, but y'all understand what I'm trying to say. I just don't agree with that, and when you're talking to somebody that's childish or just emotionally driven.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get...
If they're not getting their way, they'll resort to name calling. They'll resort to personal attacks. Now the conversation where it was going towards this subject, it makes a left turn. And it's like, all right, how did we get here? And I have to say, and I'm not an Anton fan, right? I definitely appreciate his work ethic. It's definitely motivation. But A lot of his takes, I do.
And just because I said I didn't know who he was until he was on the Corey Holcomb show, that does not take away from whatever work that he has done, like whatever hard work he did to get, to where he is now. I'm not taking it away from him at all. I just made a blanket statement that I did not, I was not privy to who he was before he was on the 5150 show.
Not agree with. I do have to say that Corey, after watching it back, reading the comments, Corey did entice that. Anton, he took it to the hills. You know what I mean? He took it to hell with it. You know what I mean? But Corey did say you kiss white man's ass. Like, I kind of missed that part because the SMD part was just so wild, or the part he said about the getting on his knees and stuff was wild. But I missed the part when Corey did say you kiss white man's ass. Like, I mean, you could look at that in different ways and be like, all right, well, he's just saying he sucks up to white people, or he sucks up to white men or something like that. But you still demeaning another man. You don't know how this man's going to take that. He probably gets that all the time. That was his trigger. Now, your trigger was where he took it. But initially, you started it there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you brought it there. Like, so I would have to say, like, the whole interaction going how it went, I would have to say it was because of Corey Holcomb. You know what I mean? He kind of enticed that. And again, I'm not an Anton fan, but he did entice that. And then when I really watched it back, I'm like, damn, like, if Corey was, I don't know, all that, nigga, say something else. Say something, say it again. Say it, Joe, say it again. I'm gonna show you what I'm about. All of that goes out the window when niggas like, come on, let's get up. Let's just come show me right now. Nah, say it right now. I want to say it like we're gonna say it in front of the cameras. Niggas, you scared? Cause I'm scared, nigga. But nigga, say it again. Nigga, say it again. Like, all of that is just like you barking. Like, you know what I mean? At that point, you just barking. You just barking at the door and then tucking your tail as soon as somebody come in the house. Like, because he said, let's go to the back. You cannot run up in another man's face and not think, okay, he could possibly be with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then, y'all went the route of, I don't want to fight, and I'm glad they did it, but exactly. Just going the extent of jumping in somebody's face is like, all right, this is the same as pulling a gun out. If you're going to pull a gun out, you better use it. Yeah. Don't just pull it out. Don't just run up in my face. Like, you know what I mean? But if we're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But all the name calling and stuff, that's childish. That's very childish. And I think we should be a little bit more careful when other people go there, not meeting them there. I always say, don't meet stupid with stupid. You don't have to, because you can lose stuff, or because stupid didn't have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So yeah. So real quick, just an update on my subscriber that I told y'all made $50 and $25 and $100. All right, just a quick update. We're gonna just call her Kiki, because I kept messing up her username before, and people were on me in the comments like, just call her Kiki. Kiki. All right, so as you can see, you can read yourself. She made $25 and $100 just playing games on her.
All right, we're about to get back into the video.
Interviewer or podcast guest, he could not mean it that way. Because again, Corey Holcomb's personality, he probably doesn't really all the way mean it, like the things he says about people. But just in that particular time frame he's talking about, he could clearly be offensive to somebody. I've seen it. All of us have seen Corey Holcomb doing something where we like, damn, Corey, that's a little bit rough, don't you think? I mean, we've seen him doing it with sometimes Darlene and other people. So we get it. But again, if you understood Corey Holcomb and what his show was about, why would you go?
He's right,
Black conservatives to say, listen, that person is primitive or unintelligent or whatever. I'm not going to waste my time dealing with a Neanderthal. But Anton Daniels decided to go anyway. So then let me just say this. If Corey Holcomb is a Neanderthal, it must mean that Anton Daniels is not a Neanderthal. Now, when there is a situation between the two of them and they're arguing back and forth, the more intelligent person should get up and walk away. Granted, which Anton Daniels eventually does at certain points. But again,
he was antagonizing
him, will not waste their time arguing with somebody else who is a Neanderthal. Now, I'm going to play the entire clip in its entirety so that you can see who was the Neanderthal or not.
Don't put no shit from Detroit. Say I'm right here, right now.
Yo, I'm from Detroit. Shouting out where you from is like, has always been super entertaining to me. Like, you understand that there's a motherfucker in Nebraska that will whoop your tail from this side of the street to up the street. There's a motherfucker in Wyoming You know what I mean? Places that you don't really hear much about will whoop you up and down the street. It don't matter where you from. You don't just equip powers. And I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people that shout out where they're from, they're just shouting out how big their ego is. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sit here and say it. New York has one of the biggest egos ever in America.
Yes.
Like, a brother from New York think he could whoop anybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I learned it moving out here. I'm like, oh, look, yo, these dudes is tight big. Like, these some big burly. Granted, they couldn't really fight out here. Look, when I first moved out here, at least, you know, and we were young, but them dudes really, like, they were huge. I'm talking about the football team was playing basketball. I told this in my whole, you know, my basketball story or whatever. Y'all go check that out as well. But you don't just equip some type of Super Saiyan extra powers because of where you from. You know what I mean? Like, what were you doing where you're from? Like, were you just miss the fight night every night? Like, maybe you're down to fight and get beat up. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what does where you from got to do with it? I'm from Detroit.
I stick by the code. There's somebody out there for everybody. You can't whoop the whole world. You can't beat everybody in the world, honey. You always got somebody out there for you.
Alright. That's your origin? That's where you from? Word. Alright, what's next? Like, you know what I mean? Do you know how to throw these? You know what I mean? Because somebody that actually knows how to throw these where you from ain't got nothing to do with the altercation.
Yeah.
You gonna get tagged up thinking that, you know what I mean, that wins you a fight. You just more emotional at that point because you feel like you got something to prove because you're representing where you're from. But essentially, where you're from, nigga, where you at? You right here. We not over there. You got no backup. We right here. What are we talking about? Know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just always been crazy to me. Like, you know where I'm from? Ah! Like, bro, chill. Just like, I mean, he held his own, but just hold your own in the moment. You ain't got a nigga, you know my past, nigga.
Dance around it. Dance around it. I don't do no.
I fight niggas.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I'm going to have a conversation. We good. But you're not forcing up on me. We good. I did already. I don't. The microphone right now. I'm going up back. I don't give a fuck this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth. You running your mouth. I don't do no. For the
shit.
internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want to say
I'll show you I ain't doing it for the internet.
If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that, I'll respect you. But don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how they call this. I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get disrespected.
So what I see are two men not backing down from each other. I do not think that either one was afraid of the other. I do not think that anybody wanted to back down. I think that both of them, as young folks would say, was standing on business. But if Corey Holcomb is a Neanderthal in this moment, it must be true that Anton Daniels is also acting with that same level of behavior. If Corey Holcomb is a person who is emotional.
Oh my God, I hate doing this because I'm not an Anton fan, but okay. I think when Anton called him a Neanderthal, he was more so saying his level to speak at a certain capacity, like on certain topics, without being emotional. Like, and not only without being emotional, but to be able to back it with facts. Now, there's certain conversations that you will not find me in. I'm not going to be debating people because I don't have all the knowledge on that, right? And I think that's more so of what Anton is kind of speaking towards. Like, you're not on my level of understanding these topics to even have this conversation on these topics, you know? So I think that was more so what Anton was saying. And it just sounds crazy because like it's like I'm backing everything he's saying, but y'all know me. I like to stay neutral. I actually really like Corey Holcomb. But
do you want to have a wait list of dream clients? Having worked as a psychotherapist and coach for over 20 years, if I could offer coaches 2 pieces of advice to be successful, it would be
and make it say bye.
But Corey Holcomb, I don't watch his think pieces. I more so watch his comedy. So I can't really tell you whether or not he's the analytical, guy when it comes to this stuff. Because one thing I will say is a lot of people, and I can't stand talking to people like this, get their information off of headlines. Like they literally just get their information off of headlines and then they run with it as if they know something. They won't research it. They won't look into it. None of that. The headlines create emotion. So now you come with your emotions, just a headline, and now you think you could argue with somebody that has possible analytics and facts. Possible. There's no better debate than facts against facts. Truth against truth. Not emotion against emotion.
Right.
Because it gets here. And that's what I think he meant when he said Neanderthal.
Can't be rational, and all of the like. Then it must also mean from what I just saw that Anton Daniels is matching that same energy. Because a person who is more intelligent than the so-called quote-unquote Neanderthal would just not engage with that. Because if you're dealing with a Neanderthal, that means you're more advanced, right? Like, you are a more advanced specimen than the person you're dealing with. So then what you should do is say, well, this person cannot help themselves. This person cannot respond in the way. So the person is being rude or abrasive or, being insulting, but it's because that person has a deficit. So then me being the quote-unquote black conservative, understanding that this person doesn't have the ability to understand, I have an option here. I can let that slide and not let that get to me because, number one, I'm more intelligent than the person. I know that that person has no ability to hold the framework that I hold. Because again, I'm Anton Daniels and the black community suffers from this. We already know this because he's talking about it right now. And then also, we know that the better way is the more intelligent way. But what I see is Detroit versus Chicago all day long. Both of y'all cursing, both of y'all using the N-word, and both of y'all going in. So if Corey Holcomb is a Neanderthal, you are also a Neanderthal. At least at this moment. Then after the display, here is what Anton Daniels did.
All right, so now he put the microphone down, right? He put the microphone down, right? All right, cool. We know that right now. It ain't nothing else to talk about. And from my perspective, once you put the microphone down, it ain't nothing else to talk about because you're not trying to talk no more. You don't want to resolve it. You don't want to be amicable. You don't want to debate. You don't want to do none of that shit. So from my perspective, okay, well, I guess that's that. I guess we going out there, right? We can just go ahead and head out back right now. Let's rock.
Who y'all think would have won that fight? Who y'all think would have won that fight? I'm glad the brothers didn't
I ain't
fight,
answering that.
Who y'all think would have won that fight, for real? You know what I mean? Like,
Because you don't never know. Can't judge a book by its cover.
They probably around the same age as well. But the loudest person don't always win. The person that initiated the fight don't always win either. So who y'all think would have won that fight between Corey and Anton Davis? Who y'all got for real? You know what I mean? But I definitely, if somebody, you ran up on me, we're potting, you dropped the mic, so you're not trying to talk no more. What are we doing here? You just say something else. Say something else. Say something else for what? You're insinuating you about to smack me. You know what I mean? At this point, let's just cut to the chase. If you got the energy to smack me, let's get to smacking. You know what I mean? Let's. If you're not getting up, then bro, you're wolfing. Like you're just. Like what are we doing for?
All right, DMX.
At that point. So that was his invitation to walk to the back with him. Like yeah, 'cause I'm saying this shit. You know, I'm glad they did it. Don't get me wrong, but you should have just kept it. What's the word? Amicable. I'm still learning big words. Amicable.
You put the mic down. Let's go out back right now. Let's do it.
So I'm not going to get into who's right or who's wrong here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just talking about the framework that he's using. And he says, well, listen, I told him, let's go outside. Let's go out back. If it's a problem, let's go out back. No, right, let's go out back. He would follow it up by using this comment.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. He was shaking like a salt shaker. When he says study
Maybe
the
because he
video,
was
go
mad.
study the video. He was shaking like a salt shaker. Was nervous.
Now he says Corey Holcomb was shaking. He was scared to do anything. Which, I mean, in the heat of the moment, I don't think either one of them scared. That's not what I'm here to debate. What I'm here to debate is that Anton...
Bro, you ever get so mad that you would cry?
God, yes.
Like you
I
ever
literally
get
just
so
said that.
mad that like you could cry. It ain't like it ain't like that. Sorry, my son just now. It's more like
He said doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
We have got to the
these
point where
commercials,
literally
yeah.
anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base 44.
I'm trying to figure out which way it look better.
yo, like so many emotions that yo, nigga, just your tear glands is ready to just let go. Your palms is shaking because you ready to smack it.
Your face
like
hot.
you want to get that feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, all that.
but not real life though. Like that's a real thing. So just because somebody, I ain't gonna hold you. Somebody starts shaking. It depends on how you shaking. Like you stuttering and stuff, or you're chattering. That might be a little different. But if you get this shaking, I don't know, because that means your nervous system is about to bug out. You know what I mean? If I ain't that mad, you might get the best of me just off the pure strength that your body's in fight or flight. Like on some crazy stuff. Those ain't the people you want to mess with. But what do y'all think? Y'all think Corey was scared? I think a part of him just wasn't really with what he thought he was with. I also think he was looking at them big bifocals Anton is wearing underneath that hat, you know what I mean, with the collared shirt, and was like, yo, smack the, what? He's not on what I'm on. I got a hoodie on, nigga. I got a white hoodie on.
with a big chain. Nigga, like, what? Nigga, who you talking to? Anton said, I'm talking to you. Oh, shit. You talking to me? Well, say it again, then. Nigga, say it again. Nigga, we can fight. Nigga, say it again. Nigga, just say it again. All you gotta do is just say it again. Like, my son stayed on that. Nigga, just say it one more time. Just say it one more time before we go outside. Say it again. Nigga, if you don't smack him, if you're gonna smack him back there, you might as well smack him over here, all right? My son said,
that was his point.
With the shit.
Daniels in this situation allowed himself to be angry, just as angry as Corey Holcomb. I can agree that I've watched Corey, and there are times where I feel, damn, Corey, that's, like, why you go that hard? Or, damn, like you said, Darlene. Is Corey Holcomb over the top? Absolutely. This is why we watch Corey Holcomb. Is Corey Holcomb disrespectful? Absolutely. Like, when is he not? I mean, this is why you like Corey Holcomb, because, whether he means it personally, I think he's a good person. Overall, I think both of them are good people. I don't dislike Anton Daniels. I dislike the stances, but I don't dislike Anton. I do not dislike.
Looking at his hand,
I will say though that it is kind of interesting that Anton Daniels believes that he is more different than anybody else. Interesting that Anton Daniels believes that he can say though.
Wait. There was a little shakery. Hold on, there was a little shakery.
I didn't see it.
But I can't say like that's fear. That could be like.
It could be anger.
Tight, like, you know what I mean? Like, hold on. Watch the hands, a little shakery.
That it is kind of interesting that Anton Daniels believes that he's more different than anybody else. If you show this to white conservatives, okay, and you just say, clip this part, and what do you
it's
see?
Because he was mad. Come on,
do you want to live next to any of these people? Let's say if Anton Daniels was talking about he loves America and all that. Okay, so what do you see?
In my opinion, I think his hands was shaking because he was getting so mad. Like, he was getting, like, heated. Like, he was getting hot. Like, that's what, when anger is, when your adrenaline is rushing, you get mad, your face start getting hot, your hands start getting sweaty, like, you start shaking because you know in your mind where you about to take it, but you really, like, trying to fight your body and your mind from taking it there, if I explain that right. But that, in my opinion, I feel like that's why his hands were shaking. Like, he was getting mad as hell.
I see two black guys that I don't want anything to do with. So, I don't know why he feels that he's not coming across the same way in which he's criticizing Corey Holcomb, and I'm using his language because that's what he's saying. He is using the same language in the same framework. So again, if Anton is saying Corey is a Neanderthal, you're not far from it. Here's what we got to do as black people. Number one, acting like our shit don't stink when it does. There's a saying in the black church, God is not through with me yet. We still got much work to do. So on and so forth, right? And Anton Daniels is not holier than thou. Corey Holcomb is not holier than thou. And if you feel that somebody doesn't have the framework to carry on a debate, you would know that by looking at their channel and the way that we know that you understand Corey's channel. You talked about Craig Fact being on the show. You basically said that he doesn't stand up for himself. You said Darlene doesn't stand up for himself. Corey Holcomb has come on every week, every Tuesday for a year straight, maybe 10 or 11 years straight, and he's not changed. 15. He's not going to change. So you can look at him and see right away that he's not the right person for the debate. The only way that you could go and agree to that, if you are that kind of person that can handle that smoke, and you showed everybody, yes, Anton, you got the Detroit in you. You're about it. Corey Holcomb ain't backing down. You ain't backing down. Nobody thinks that neither one of you are. I don't think I do. But at the same time, Chicago versus Detroit was on full effect, and we all saw it. And if you try to separate yourself from what you call as being primitive, what you call as being unintelligent, what you call as being rude or uncivilized or outdated, that's you. Because even if he were to carry it that way, you're supposed to be more intelligent than him. That's what you said. So then you should use it's almost like somebody should never get you down to quote unquote their level. And if you look at Anton Daniels' live streams, he uses the N-words. He crashes out on people. It's not like you don't use juice to do what you do. You're not the, so-called clean black conservative Brandon.
I definitely see what O'Shea is saying. Like, you're just as ignorant as him in that moment. But the whole Neanderthal part was more on like a debate level. Like, can you actually hold an actual debate? He met him where he was at, and I'm pretty sure, emotions and all that, and it was definitely ignorant. All of that was ignorant. But you can also look at it from another lens of two men kind of standing on, like, don't cross that line.
Right.
Would you be happy if you stayed where you are in life and job forever? If the answer is yes, then this video is not for you. But if you want to finally achieve...
I'm gonna try it right there.
And if a man threatens you or makes insinuations of threatening you, like, if you do something one more time, they're gonna do something to you. I don't know. I don't really think that's Neanderthal-ish to be like, well, show me. You know what I mean? Like let's do that. Is the smartest thing to do to get up and just walk out? Yeah, but you don't want to get up and walk out and get socked in the back of your head. If you're in an environment as a man and you feel threatened,
I don't
you might want to, defend yourself, like, or at least make sure that the threat is not real, or like put yourself out there. I don't know, like, let's make it happen. My son over here distracting me. Thank you, Papa. Thank you.
Tatum kind of style of person. No, you dig in the mud a little bit too. So I don't understand how he is acting as a Neanderthal, and for whatever reason, you're justified by acting a Neanderthal with him, challenging a Neanderthal to a fight outside as a person such as yourself. I don't get that framework, and as an adult, I can't understand it. What I see, if at all best, if I see a person in Neanderthal and that person is disrespectful, cursing and yelling and all that, I should see another person behaving in the opposite way, and we did not see that from you. So I don't know how he is the person that is a Neanderthal and you are not in that same framework. I can't see it. Regardless of if he started or not, as a man who is of age, that understands this is how black people are. Oh, okay, they just doing whatever they're doing. Let me go ahead and remove myself from that at all. The show should have been over at 27 minutes. All right, you know what, brother? I don't want to get into it with you, brother. Let me just leave. That would have been it. You responded to what he responded to, and that's the problem. So guys, what do you think?
So I definitely agree with what O'Shea is saying. Like, if you're gonna call black people ignorant and emotional and stuff, don't exhibit that same kind of energy. Like, yeah, I mean, don't be the people you're talking about. Exactly. In other words. And I've seen other videos of Anton kind of chewing people out and getting disrespectful or whatever. But in this conversation, I do feel like the context in which he was using Neanderthal was, can he debate? You know, but what O'Shea is saying is right. If you know somebody is not on your level intellectually, I actually had to deal with this week.
Get your boy,
I mean, they're not on.
Back at it.
Hold on, Papa.
It's another episode.
He's like, nah, we gotta keep watching this. There's more. But yeah, like if you feel like somebody is not on your level when it comes to, you know, being able to have a back and forth, a healthy back and forth at that, know when to just, all right, I'm good. I'm walking away from this, or don't be a part of it. You know, like, and I think that's where Anton is like, all right, bro, why did you ever go up there if you knew that? Probably, you know, to get some followers or whatever, get some subscribers, or ish on Corey. And it turned out how it turned out. Y'all got y'all viral moment. I guess that's what everybody was looking for, right? But anyways, y'all, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications and all that good stuff. I still want to see what y'all are going to say in the comment section down below about what should the name be. Now, I mean, for the Boogie family. Should it just be Boogie family? I like Boogie family, you know. But if there's something a little bit more spicy, I'm down with that too. You know what I mean? What was the very last thing I want to say? The very last thing I want to say, I don't know if y'all seen that video, but I'm pretty sure more people will see this video than saw that video. But at 100,000 subscribers, what I plan on doing to give back to y'all, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do the raffle. But I'm going to do some type of raffle where I pay one person's rent. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I look parched. Thank you. My assistant right here. Yeah, I'm going to pay one person's rent. Now, the cap is $2,500. $2,500. This is going to be the Boogie Housing Relief Fund or grant, whatever the hell you want to call it. You know what I mean? But this is just a way for me to give back to y'all because this is what I do. I wake up and I do this every morning. You know what I mean? And y'all support me. If y'all not watching, there's no channel for real, you know? You feel me? And this, of course, helps me support my family. So I appreciate y'all, you know? And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button as I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. And if you're new here, comment below, I'm new here. And then my returning viewers, comment underneath the new here and welcome the new here people and welcome them here. Let's treat it like church, okay?
All right, yeah, so that was my little test run of me doing a reaction video. We're going to see if it did what it's supposed to do or whatever. And it won't be like a full video. It won't be the full reaction video just because, like I said, it's a test run. I'm trying to see, you know, how everything went. And hopefully if it went perfect, like I'm thinking it, well, I'm not going to say thinking, like I'm hoping it did, you will be seeing more reaction videos from your girl. Okay, like expanding my, you know, my things that I like to do, expanding my niche, if you want to call it that. So yeah, hopefully we'll be having more of the iAmDom reaction videos coming soon, and I will be posting this on YouTube. Alrighty, peace, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back. Bye.